The Moravian College Comenius Center is located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Named for John Amos Comenius, a 17th century Moravian bishop who was a pioneer in education, we proudly carry on his legacy by offering the opportunity to transform your life through continuing education. Tao Li Tzu has recently graduated from the Moravian College Comenius Center with a master's degree in business administration. He now works as a senior manager in Pfizer corporate headquarters in New York City. Using the tools of statistical analysis he gained from his Comenius Center education, he was able to dramatically move both his career and the company forward.
As an engineer, practice engineer for over 15 years, I work as mostly in a plant. I support manufacturing operations and specifically Rogaine and PD care. Because my learning here, I got hired into Greenstone. One of the things that impressed them the most is that I'm going to Moravian to get my MBA. And they say, wow, you know, not only do you want to go to business, but you're really serious by going to Moravian. The instructor, they work in the industry before, they know what they're talking about, and they have already been through the process. That's one of the main reasons I want to come here. I was fortunate enough to go for an interview, and they were very, very impressed with I would be able to speak intelligently of what I learned here, and I should explain to them what it is, because a lot of people, when they say Monte Carlo simulation, you know, they might heard about it, but they not really understand how to apply it. What that does is allow us to do thorough analysis rather than before. It's more of a gut feeling. And so that is help us streamline the operation. So with 400 molecules coming off patent, we were able to perform the analysis within a couple months and be able to determine the top 10 molecules that we should go after, which in turn save our company tremendous amounts of money. Because of that, because I implemented that process plus other techniques, we were able to accelerate our profit tremendously for the first year. In return, I was promoted to senior manager. A typical promotion in my organization, it would take about 5 years. And I was promoted within 2. My division, I never seen anybody get promoted that fast. It's kind of, you know, for a multi-billion-dollar company, you think that, you know, that kind of technique would be embedded, but you'd be surprised how people look at that and thought, wow, that's better than slice, you know, it's like the most wonderful thing, better than sliced bread. So I'm a big advocate of the, you know, the process that we learn here in Moravian. Everything I learned here, I get to apply. The correlation, we learn about that, how to do linear regression analysis. We are in the process of applying that technique into what we do to enhance what we're doing. As you know, business intelligence, you can never, it's like an arms race. You can never stand still. The moment we get done, you can always make it better. And by applying individual pieces of what I learned here, we make the system even better. The funny thing is, I was looking at my next promotion. I saw the director's position. They want somebody who does the Monte Carlo analysis, does linear regression, and be able to do simulation and modeling. And that's exactly everything we do in class. There's no reason why what we learn here can be easily applied what we're doing and lead the company, become a leader.
The Moravian College Comenius Center is proud of the variety of choices they offer in taking their nursing degree to a higher level. Heather Zengari is currently achieving a Master of Science in Nursing Education. She is employed at St. Luke's Hospital within the Oncology Department.
I graduated from Bloomsburg University and I began working at St. Luke's Hospital on the oncology floor, and I've been there for the past 6 years. And I started working a lot with new staff and orienting new staff and precepting students, and I decided to take that to the next level, to further my education, and I thought the nurse educator track would be the best way to do that, because now I can take what I have as far as knowledge, build on it, and then share that with the new students. I think the most valuable part is that I've been taking a lot of what I learn in class to apply it to what I use with the students and what I use with other staff members on the clinical unit. Using the educational classes combined with the nursing classes, and we're using that in with the students to realize that it's not just cut and drive how you educate someone. It's about learning who they are, how do they learn, what works best for them, and then applying it into the clinical setting, which I've seen my students grow astronomically because of the things that I've been learning in school. So it's wonderful. What I'm learning now is incorporating the tools that we have, as far as we have Google tools out there, multimedia like Twitter, but not in a sense that you use it for the social part of it. It's adapted into an educational setting. So we're blogging about stuff that we learned either in class or read in the text, and not just that we're sitting down and having a discussion. We can kind of talk about it here and there and then integrate it when we go to class together.
One of the final criteria to achieve a master's degree of nursing is a completed capstone research project.
I'm doing my capstone project on looking at the transition into nursing practice. That transition time is really key to the new nurse or the novice nurse, to aid them into transitioning into practice, growing as a future nurse, professional nurse, and see if that overall impacts their level of commitment to an organization. It was great to have some experiences with the nurse leaders and the nurse administrator track, just because everyone brings something different to the playing field, and when we were in class together, we'd bounce ideas off each other, and there are parts of my capstone project that I haven't thought about or to incorporate because I had some advice from the nurse educators or the clinical nurse leaders. So it was great to have that diversity. When I graduate in May, my goals are to teach full-time. Right now I'm just more doing the clinical portion where I'm working one-on-one with patients on the floors in the hospital. I would like to be an instructor that I'm working in the classroom, educating students, but then taking that piece to the clinical setting, and I'm doing both.
Jennifer Grell is also working to complete her master's degree in the nursing program, specifically nursing administration. She is the trauma program manager for St. Luke's Hospital in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
And actually we'll be celebrating my 20th year with the organization. I've had various roles throughout my time at St. Luke's Hospital, and it's been a pleasure to travel through the system and do different jobs. I'm very honored that our organization has chosen to work with Moravian College so that I have the opportunity to go back to school. It's been in my long-term plan to ascertain my master's degree, but it's always been an issue of being able to afford it. And so Moravian College, working along with St. Luke's Hospital, has provided me the opportunity to fulfill one of my lifelong dreams and goals, and that's to further my education. I'm passionate about being a nurse, I'm passionate about patient care, and I'm passionate about trauma nursing specifically. So it's hard for me to believe that I'm in my third year at Moravian College, and I'm so close to being done. I've had a fantastic journey along the way. I will tell you, it was scary at first, but doing it, I've gained so much. I had a lot of difficulty in my writing skills, and coming back from my master's program has pushed me and challenged me and driven me to become a better writer, and I feel like I'm accomplishing. That's just one of the goals. Throughout my track is healthcare administrator. I have worked with various students in other tracks, such as the MBA track, and I found that very valuable to be mixed in with groups of people. The dynamic of two worlds coming together to mix medicine and business is something unique to this program. The benefits for me as a profession, being blended in with professionals from the MBA track here at Moravian and other nursing tracks, the benefits, I actually couldn't put a price tag on it because it's such a dynamic experience, and it really broadens your horizons and opens up your mind to a whole new way of thinking. I would say that I couldn't put a price tag on it. It's very valuable. So my capstone project that I've selected is doing a retrospective review, and I'm going to look into the charts and look at all of their, it's called the medication reconciliation form, and I'm going to look at the number of over-the-counter and prescribed medications that a patient comes in with, and I'm looking at the patients specifically that are 70 years of age and older. And what I will do is gather data from the charts, specific data elements that my faculty review team has helped me come up with, and then I'm going to have it analyzed to see if we can deduce that there's a certain target number of pills that would help me up front know as a trauma nurse practitioner that while this patient requires a specific and unique intervention, let's get on hospital day one. My Moravian education really has inspired me to always be thinking about my future and what my next step's going to be. Obviously, a lot of my professors would encourage me to go on for my PhD. That, once again, would be another long-term goal, but I believe the capstone project that I've selected has all of the elements and criteria that would allow me to take that project and take it to the next level.
Countless students looking to strengthen their teaching methods have chosen the Moravian College Comenius Center's Master of Education program. Nathan Snyder graduated with his master's degree in education in 2009. He now works at the New York City iSchool in Chelsea. We had the opportunity to meet with Nathan at his school to discuss how his experience at the Moravian College Comenius Center has impacted his methods as a teacher.
I had already started another grad program, and it was through my not dislike of it, but I was definitely disappointed in the program that I was in, and it was missing something. So I came across Moravian just through an internet search and read about the program, and it sounded really intriguing. And after talking to you about the program and how it kind of fit my teaching philosophy and how I wanted to further my education as far as action research and learning as I went versus from book and lectures, it seemed to be a perfect fit, and I'm so grateful that I made the decision, and it's been the most beneficial professional growth that I've ever had. Without fail, without question, was the thesis document. Something that I was the most nervous about from the beginning, and almost scared me away from the program to begin with, knowing teachers that went to other programs that didn't have to do thesis documents, just took classes, did a big project at the end, and called it a day. But I'm very grateful that I did it, because actually that was the thing that I learned most from, I think, too. Immersing myself in research and forcing myself to think about a problem that I was having, how to use observation and research data and evidence that I was collecting in the classroom to make that change.
After working extensively with action research during his education at Moravian, Nathan now shares these methods with his students.
Their students are now in a 3-tiered course that involves their senior project. So they develop a question that they want to explore and find an answer to. They create a literature review. They design a project around it. It doesn't have to be a paper like the thesis document. Or it can be, if they're interested in writing. It can be a documentary that they make. It could be making a handmade book. The projects vary. I had one student make a robot because he wanted to explore that further. So I'm using my document, actually I keep it right here, because I show my kids all the parts of it, and when we develop our questions, I show them my question, and I show them the lit review, I show them everything that they're doing in a different scale, but showing them that it's modeled after what their fellow teachers are doing, what they'll be doing in graduate school when they get there, and showing them that it's a real process and it's beneficial, and they're actually getting to learn it at the high school level, which is pretty amazing. Why I got so much out of Moravian's program is probably because I went in for the right reasons. I was seeking a challenging program, I was seeking a way to become a better teacher and to advance my professionalism. If you're really serious about teaching and learning, you're going to take that program, because it forces you to think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and it gives you an outlet to make that change. Being able to walk away from that and saying, man, I did that. I can't believe I did it, but I did it.
The Moravian College Comenius Center offers a wide variety of programs that lead to a master's degree, post-baccalaureate degree, undergraduate degree, or a professional certificate or certification. The Moravian College Comenius Center looks forward to working with you to achieve your goals in your pursuit of higher education.